Welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is not about money. It is about thinking. Many people are not poor in life. They are poor in their mind. They wake up every day thinking they have nothing, thinking they cannot grow, thinking success is only for others. And slowly, this thinking becomes their reality. But listen carefully. The moment you think you are poor, you start living like one. Being poor in money is a situation. Being poor in mindset is a decision. Money can change, skills can grow, life can improve. But if the mind stays poor, nothing changes. Rich people were not born rich. They first became rich in their thinking. They believed, I can learn, I can improve, I can build something better. If you can think, you are not poor.
If you can learn, you are not poor. If you are alive and trying, you are not poor. Stay with us, because today we will learn why you must never think you're poor and how changing your thinking can change your life. Part 1. How poor thinking keeps people stuck. Most people believe poverty is only about money, but real poverty begins in the mind. Before money becomes small, thinking becomes small. That is why some people earn more, but still live in fear, stress, and lack. And some people have little money but strong confidence, hope, and growth. The difference is thinking. 1. Poor thinking starts with negative self-talk. Poor thinking begins quietly. We say, I am poor, I can't do this life is not for me. At first, these are just words, but when repeated daily, they become beliefs. The brain believes what it hears again and again. When we tell ourselves we are poor, the brain stops looking for solutions. Strong people change their inner words. They say, I am learning, I am improving. This is temporary. Words shape thinking. Thinking shapes life. 2. Poor thinking focuses only on lack. Poor thinking always looks at what I don't have, what others have, what is missing. This creates frustration. When the mind focuses only on lack, it becomes blind to opportunity. Strong thinking asks, what can I use today? What skill can I learn? What small step can I take? Opportunity appears only to those who look for it. 3. Poor thinking waits for money to change first. Many people say, when I have money, I will think differently. But this never works. Money follows thinking, not the other way around. Strong people think, how can I grow my skills? How can I increase my value? When value increases, money comes naturally. Waiting for money first keeps people stuck forever. 4. Poor thinking creates fear of trying. When we think we are poor, we fear loss. We fear trying something new, making mistakes, failing. This fear keeps us small. Strong people understand, failure is not loss. Not trying is loss. They take small risks. They learn from mistakes. They keep moving. Growth requires courage, not money. 5. Poor thinking compares too much. Comparison is poison. When we compare, our struggle with others' success, our beginning with others' finish, we feel hopeless. Strong people compare only one thing. Who am I today compared to yesterday? Progress, not comparison, creates confidence. 6. Poor thinking makes people dependent. Poor thinking waits for help, luck, someone else. Strong thinking creates independence. Strong people ask, what can I do myself? What can I learn today? Self-reliance is wealth. Depending on others creates mental poverty. 7. Poor thinking kills patience. Real success takes time. Poor thinking wants fast results, easy money, quick comfort. When results don't come fast, people quit. Strong people understand. Slow growth is still growth. Patience is a rich mindset. Poverty is not just about money. It is about thinking. If we think poor, we act poor. If we think strong, we grow strong. Money changes later. Mindset changes first. That is why we must never think we're poor. Part 2. How rich thinking creates opportunities. Rich thinking does not start with money in the pocket. It starts with hope in the mind and belief in growth. People who change their thinking slowly change their life. 1. Rich thinking focuses on growth, not status. Poor thinking asks, what do others think of me? How do I look right now? Rich thinking asks, what am I learning? How am I growing? Strong people do not chase status. They chase skills. Status fades. Skills stay. When skills grow, income grows naturally. 2. Rich thinking sees problems as chances. Poor thinking sees problems and feels helpless. Rich thinking sees problems and asks questions. Questions like, how can this be solved? What can I learn here? Who needs this solution? Every big problem in the world creates big opportunities. Strong people do not run from problems. They learn to solve them. Problem solvers are never poor. 3. Rich thinking uses time wisely. Time is the same for everyone. But thinking decides how time is used. Poor thinking wastes time in complaining, scrolling, blaming others. Rich thinking invests time in learning, practicing, improving. Even 30 minutes a day used correctly can change life in 1 year. Time used well creates wealth slowly. 4. Rich thinking believes in learning, not luck. Poor thinking waits for luck. Rich thinking builds knowledge. Strong people read. They listen. They practice. They know. Luck is unpredictable. Skills are reliable. The more we learn, the more confident we become. Confidence attracts opportunities. 5. Rich thinking takes responsibility. Poor thinking says, life is unfair. Government is bad. System is wrong. Rich thinking says, what can I control? What can I improve today? Strong people take responsibility for their actions, habits, and growth. Responsibility gives power. Blame removes power. 6. Rich thinking is patient but persistent. Rich thinking understands that progress is slow. They do not quit after one failure, one bad month, one bad year. They keep learning. They keep adjusting. They keep moving. Consistency creates results that others call luck. 7. Rich thinking avoids negative environments. Thinking is influenced by surroundings. Poor thinking stays around. Complaints, negativity, fear. Rich thinking protects the mind. Strong people choose positive input, silence, learning environments. What we hear daily becomes our thinking. Rich thinking does not promise fast money. It promises long-term growth. If we think in terms of learning, skills, time, responsibility, opportunities start appearing. We do not need to be rich today to think rich today. That is why we must never think we're poor. Part 3. Daily habits that remove poor thinking. Thinking does not change in one day. It changes through daily habits. If we repeat poor habits, poor thinking stays. If we build strong habits, thinking becomes strong. To never think we're poor, we must change what we do every single day. 1. Start the day without negative input. The first hour of the day is very powerful. If we start the day with complaints, bad news, social media comparison, the mind becomes weak. Strong people protect mornings. They start the day with silence, reading something positive, planning the day. A strong morning creates strong thinking. 2. Change language. Stop saying, I'm poor. Words create reality. If we say daily, I'm poor, I have nothing, life is unfair, the brain accepts this as truth. Strong people change language. They say, I'm building, I'm learning, this is temporary. We do not lie to ourselves. We reframe. Better words create better thoughts. 3. Invest time in learning every day. Money can be zero. Time is never zero. Strong people use time to build value. Daily learning habits, reading 10 pages, watching one educational video, practicing one skill. Learning increases confidence. Confidence removes poor thinking. Knowledge is mental wealth. 4. Focus on what you can control. Poor thinking focuses on system, government, people. Rich thinking focuses on skills, effort, discipline. Strong people stop wasting energy on things they can't control. They put energy where results are possible. Control creates confidence. Confidence kills poor thinking. 5. Reduce comparison daily. Comparison makes the mind poor. Seeing others' success without seeing their struggle creates false pain. Strong people limit comparison. They ask one question: am I better today than yesterday? Progress, not position, creates confidence. 6. Build small wins every day. Poor thinking grows when we feel stuck. Small wins break that feeling. Small wins can be completing one task, learning one thing, improving one habit. Each small win tells the brain, I am moving forward. Movement kills poverty thinking. 7. Keep company with growth-minded people. Thinking spreads. If we stay with complaining minds, fearful people, thinking becomes poor. Strong people choose learners, builders, calm minds. If people around us are negative, we reduce time, not fight. Protecting the mind is self-respect. 8. Practice gratitude without guilt. Gratitude is powerful when done correctly. We are grateful for what we have, but we don't stop growing. Strong people say, I am grateful and I am hungry for growth. Gratitude plus ambition creates balance. 9. Replace comfort with discipline. Comfort feels good now but costs later. Discipline feels hard now but pays later. Strong people choose discipline daily. Working when tired. Learning when bored. Discipline builds confidence. Confidence builds rich thinking. Poor thinking is not fate. It is habit. When habits change, thinking changes. When thinking changes, life follows. We do not wait for money to change our thinking. We change our thinking to create money. That is why we must never think we're poor. Part 4. How to build self-worth without money. Many people think self-worth comes from money. If they earn more, they feel valuable. If they earn less, they feel small. This belief is dangerous because money goes up and down, but self-worth must stay strong. To never think we're poor, we must build self-worth independent of money. 1. Understand this truth. Money is external. Value is internal. Money is external. It can change. Today high, tomorrow low. But value is internal. Value comes from skills, character, discipline, mindset. Strong people never tie their self-respect only to income. They know money measures results, not human worth. When we separate self-worth from money, thinking becomes free. 2. Self-worth grows when skills grow. Skills are permanent wealth. If money disappears, skills remain. Strong people invest in communication, learning, problem-solving, discipline. Each new skill increases confidence. Confidence removes poor thinking. When we say, I can learn, we say, I am not poor. 3. Self-worth comes from effort, not outcome. Poor thinking depends on results. If results are bad, confidence collapses. Rich thinking values effort. Strong people respect themselves for trying, learning, and improving. They say, I showed up, I worked, I didn't quit. Effort builds pride. Pride builds self-worth. 4. Stop measuring yourself by others' success. Someone else's success does not reduce our value. But poor thinking believes it does. Strong people stop this habit. They understand. Everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different timing. Comparison destroys self-worth. Progress builds it. 5. Self-worth increases when you keep promises to yourself. Broken promises create weak self-image. Every time we say, "I will do this," and don't do it, confidence drops. Strong people keep small promises. Wake up on time. Study for 20 minutes. Complete one task. Small discipline builds big self-respect. 6. Respect yourself even before success arrives. Many people say, "I'll respect myself when I succeed." Strong people say, "I respect myself now, so I will succeed." Self-respect comes first. Success follows. When we treat ourselves seriously, life responds differently. 7. Do not confuse humility with low self-worth. Being humble is good. Thinking low of yourself is not. Strong people are humble but confident. They say, "I am learning, but I am capable." Humility keeps ego low. Confidence keeps thinking strong. 8. Self-worth grows when you live by values. Money does not create character. Character creates respect. Strong people live by values: honesty, discipline, consistency, responsibility. Even without money, values create dignity. Dignity removes poor thinking. 9. Learn to say no to disrespect. Allowing disrespect destroys self-worth. Strong people set boundaries. They may have less money, but they protect self-respect. Respect starts with self. You are not poor because of money. You feel poor when self-worth is weak. Build. Skills. Discipline. Values. Effort. And poor thinking disappears. Money can come later. Self-worth must come now. That is why we must never think we're poor. Part 5. How poor thinking blocks wealth and growth. Many people work hard. Many people try. But still, life does not change. The reason is not always lack of effort. Very often, the reason is poor thinking. Poor thinking silently blocks growth, even when opportunities are present. To never think we're poor, we must understand how poor thinking blocks wealth. 1. Poor thinking makes people see limits everywhere. Poor thinking always sees limits. It says, "This is not possible. This is too hard. This is not for people like me." Because of this thinking, opportunities are ignored. Ideas are rejected. Chances are missed. Strong thinking asks, how can this work? What is one small way to start? Limits are often imaginary. Thinking creates walls before life does. 2. Poor thinking avoids responsibility. Poor thinking looks for excuses. It says, "I don't have resources. I don't have background. I don't have connections." Strong thinking takes responsibility. It says, "What can I do with what I have? What can I learn?" Responsibility creates power. Excuses create stagnation. As long as we avoid responsibility, growth avoids us. 3. Poor thinking fears discomfort. Growth always feels uncomfortable. Learning is uncomfortable. Trying is uncomfortable. Failing is uncomfortable. Poor thinking runs away from discomfort. It chooses comfort, safety, familiar routines. Strong thinking accepts discomfort. It understands. Temporary discomfort creates permanent growth. People who avoid discomfort stay poor in thinking forever. 4. Poor thinking wants results without patience. Poor thinking wants fast money, easy success, shortcuts. When results are slow, it gives up. Strong thinking understands. Real growth is slow. Strong people build. Skills slowly, confidence slowly, wealth slowly. Patience is a rich habit. Impatience keeps people stuck. 5. Poor thinking depends on motivation, not discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Poor thinking waits to feel motivated. Strong thinking uses discipline. Strong people act even when they feel tired, they feel bored, they feel discouraged. Discipline works even when motivation disappears. Discipline builds results. Results build confidence. 6. Poor thinking ignores long-term vision. Poor thinking focuses on today only. It asks, what feels good now? Strong thinking thinks long-term. It asks, where will this lead in 1 year? In 5 years? Short-term comfort often destroys long-term growth. Vision creates direction. Direction creates wealth. 7. Poor thinking avoids learning from mistakes. Mistakes are teachers. Poor thinking feels ashamed of mistakes and tries to hide them. Strong thinking studies mistakes. It asks, what went wrong? What can I improve? Learning from mistakes is a powerful form of education. People who fear mistakes never grow. 8. Poor thinking makes people emotionally reactive. Poor thinking reacts emotionally to criticism, to failure, to comparison. These reactions waste energy. Strong thinking stays calm. Calm minds see clearly. Clear minds find solutions. Emotional control is mental wealth. 9. Poor thinking makes people feel powerless. The worst effect of poor thinking is feeling powerless. It says, I can't change. This is my fate. Strong thinking rejects this idea. Strong people believe, I can always improve something. This belief creates action. Action creates change. Poor thinking is not harmless. It silently blocks growth. It blocks opportunities, confidence, learning, wealth. When we remove poor thinking, paths open naturally. We do not need to become rich to stop thinking poor. We must stop thinking poor to become rich. That is why we must never think we're poor. Part 6. The mindset that makes you rich before money. Money is visible. Mindset is invisible. But mindset always comes first. Before people become rich in life, they become rich in their thinking. If we want to never think we're poor, we must build a mindset that feels strong even before money arrives. 1. Understand this truth. Feeling poor is more dangerous than being poor. Being poor in money is a temporary condition. Feeling poor in the mind is a permanent prison. When we feel poor, we stop dreaming, we stop trying, we stop believing. Strong people refuse this feeling. They say, Abe, my situation is temporary, my potential is permanent. This one belief changes everything. 2. Rich mindset focuses on possibility, not position. Poor thinking asks, where am I now? Rich thinking asks, where can I go? Strong people do not judge themselves by today's position. They judge themselves by their direction. If direction is forward, thinking is rich. 3. Rich mindset sees self as an asset. Poor thinking says, I have nothing. Rich thinking says, I am something. Strong people see themselves as assets. Their mind, their time, their ability to learn. As long as the mind works, poverty cannot win. People who see themselves as assets never stay poor for long. 4. Rich mindset separates dignity from income. Income can be low. Dignity must never be low. Strong people walk with dignity. They speak with confidence. They respect themselves. They do not beg for validation. Money respects those who respect themselves first. Self-respect attracts opportunities. 5. Rich mindset thinks in value, not money. Poor thinking chases money directly. Rich thinking chases value. Strong people ask, what value can I give? What problem can I solve? Money is a reward for value. If we focus only on money, we stay frustrated. If we focus on value, money follows quietly. 6. Rich mindset believes in long-term growth. Strong people are not in a hurry. They understand. Growth takes time. Skills take effort. Results take patience. They do not quit early. They know Slow progress is still progress. Consistency beats speed. 7. Rich mindset does not beg for sympathy. Poor thinking wants sympathy. Rich thinking wants strength. Strong people do not say, "Feel sorry for me." They say, "Watch me grow." They take responsibility instead of asking for pity. Responsibility creates power. 8. Rich mindset uses adversity as training. Hard times are not curses. They are training grounds. Strong people learn. Discipline from struggle. Strength from difficulty. Wisdom from pain. Adversity shapes character. Character shapes destiny. 9. Rich mindset feels grateful but hungry. Gratitude keeps the heart calm. Hunger keeps the mind moving. Strong people balance both. They say, "I am thankful for what I have, and I am working for more." This balance removes guilt and removes laziness. 10. Rich mindset chooses identity over emotion. Emotions change daily. Identity stays. Strong people decide, "I am a builder. I am a learner. I am growing." Even on bad days, this identity holds them up. Identity controls action. Action controls results. You are not poor because of your bank balance. You become poor when you stop believing in growth. As long as you can learn, you can work, you can improve, you are not poor. Money will come later. First, build the mindset. Never say, "I am poor." Say, "I am building." Because people who keep building never stay poor forever. This is the true meaning of never think you're poor. Before we end this video, remember this truth. Being poor in money is a situation. Being poor in mindset is a choice. As long as you can think, learn, and grow, you are not poor. Money will come later. First, build skills. First, build discipline. First, build belief. Never talk down to yourself. Never think small about your future. If this lesson helped you, like the video so more people can change their thinking. Share it with someone who feels stuck. And subscribe to the channel for more motivational graded reader lessons. Remember this: you are not poor. You are building.